Hello students, welcome to another episode of our online class. Today we are going to learn on mobilization of community members. Mobilize community members. The learning outcome in this unit covers the following areas: the meaning of community and community mobilization, importance of engaging community in projects, process of community entry, conducting gender assessment, and actors to consider when selecting a community project committee. Let us begin with our first learning outcome. Engagement with the community is initiated as per the organizational policy. What do we understand by this concept? Engagement with the community is the process by which project committees engage in a specified community and are able to learn how they live and relate with each other. Now that we have understood the concept, community engagement, let us move to the process of initiating and engaging in a community. This process involves a sequence of activities as follows. 1. Establishing the assessment team. Here, the project committee gets to the target population. 2. Identifying and securing resources. At this stage, the project committee is required to identify the resources available and try to secure them for the project to be undertaken. 3. Identifying and engaging community partners. At this stage, community partners such as stakeholders are involved in the process to make work easier for them. This is because the stakeholders have better relationship with the people in the community. 4. Collecting, analyzing, and presenting data. Data collected is done at this point for the project to be able to know what to expect while they undertake that task. Analyzing and presenting of the data collected is then done. 5. Setting community priorities. After data collection, this data has to be ranked according to priorities. This is set to ensure that most urgent matter is taken care of. 6. Setting goals and measuring progress. After prioritizing the urgent issue, goals and objectives are set and acted upon. Step made in then project, then measured and recorded. 7. Choosing the strategy. This is where methods of serving the community are selected and chosen to be used in the project. And lastly, managing, documenting, and sustaining the process. At this point, the project should have been started, and managing the project, documenting all the necessary documents, sustaining the process should follow. After this stage, the project begins. All necessary documents are documented and measures are put in place to sustain the process. Importance of engaging in the community. Community engagements can lead to improved outcomes. This can be done through seeking out aspirations, concerns, and community values, incorporating in decision making. As participants, local communities may be able to actively participate in the project, provide manpower, and learn a thing or two that could be educative. As a source of information, communities may be able to provide essential information about the project, site, or any other thing needed can help the team on planning the project. To align project objectives with community's priorities. All the objectives of the community should align with the project priority of the community. Now, let us move to our next subtopic. Gender assessment tools are established as per the SOPs. Gender assessment tool is comprised of critical questions in gender analysis. It helps us determine the gender responsiveness of the policy. It helps to randomly assess the gender responsiveness specific of high-level activities of a given program. It indicates where gender responsiveness can be improved. Gender assessment tools can be developed using the following procedure. Planning on what tools to use. Designing and developing the tools by. The task administered. Outlining the evidence gathered. Judging the quality using evidence gathered. Administration. Recording and reporting the requirements needed. Quality check and tools of the tools developed. Importance of developing gender assessment tools. It enables one to understand who performs what activities and at which level is identified to avoid confusion. It enables one to understand about the available resources. It enables one to understand who has the ultimate control of resources at what levels. Helps to understand the major environmental factors such as culture, religion, politics, etc. It helps maintain the system of gender differentiation and inequality. It encourages gender sensitivity and distinctions in terminology. It encourages gender sensitivity and distinctions in terminology. Having looked at the importance of gender assessment tools, now let us move to how gender assessment is carried out. Gender assessment is carried out as per the SOPs. Steps of carrying out gender assessment. 1. A secondary data collection plan. This is done by collecting data linked to project objectives. It should include the gender-related research questions to be asked, the data to be gathered, sources of data, who will collect it, methods of data collection and analysis. 2. Review of data source. Conduct a search for data for gender-focused published and unpublished studies and database objectives of the project. 3. Analysis of secondary data. Assess whether the existing information is adequate for the project context understand how program is affected. 4. Identification of critical information gaps and contradictions. Identify what information is lacking and develop data collection plan. 5. Development of primary data collection plan and instrument. This illustrative method is relative to indicate the type of information that needs to be collected. 6. Data analysis. This can be analyzed using standard quantitative and qualitative analytic methods. Lastly, gender constraint analysis. Well, gender analysis is beneficial in many ways. In order to appreciate gender analysis, let us look at its importance. Importance of carrying out gender assessment. To understand the issues that community go through and finding ways to help them. To provide the solution for most prioritized issues. To evaluate on available resources. To involve all genders in community in projects that would in the end educate them. Community assessment is carried out as per organizational policy. What to consider while carrying out community assessment. Culture. These are patterns and norms of what men, women, boys, and girls do in relation to community assessment agenda and findings. Who and how many people will benefit from these programs? Who can be stakeholder and any person who might be interested in the projects both directly and indirectly. Who may be concerned or affected by the program. Who can participate in or contribute in the program. Who is involved in the decision making. Steps in carrying out community assessment. 1. Gather qualitative and quantitative information to be used in running of the program. 2. Ensure the participation of different groups of women and men in the consultation according to their groups with their ages, different cultures, etc. 3. Separate the groups. 4. Include all the groups in carrying out community assessment and to do research so as to facilitate access to all groups in the targeted analysis. An inclusive project committee is selected as per organizational policy. Project committee is the highest decision-making board of the project organization and consists of a group of people who take charge of the project and sometimes act as a representative of the stakeholders. A project committee is selected using the following procedure. Picking or selecting the right people with the same motive and objective, giving them information about the project, setting clear goals and rules in the project, having scheduled follow-up meetings, and making good communication flow and briefings. Project Committee Code of Conduct. Codes of conduct are established working guidelines that govern behavior of a community. The functions of Project Committee Code of Conduct. Code of Conduct puts everyone on the same page as committee work begins. It tells them what their role is and all that is expected of them. It demonstrates that the project committee and leadership is committed to understanding and promoting a positive work environment. It serves as a bench to evaluate committee members' performances. It provides the basis for addressing all types of negative behaviors that serve to inhibit positive committee environment. It improves the chances for committee success, serving to build the project to greater heights and success of the project. Conclusion: this learning outcome covered the meaning of community mobilization, importance of engaging community in projects, the process of community entry, conducting gender assessment, and factors to consider when selecting a community project committee. Thank you and see you in the next session.